kitchen and another episode of What's for Dinner. Today we're going to go back to a recipe that I did a long time ago with a really crappy camera, and the editing was really not so good because I didn't really know what I was doing back then. And I put music on there that isn't licensed. That is licensed, pardon me. So I really need to change that, so I'm going to redo it, and we're going to have it for dinner tonight, and this is our anniversary dinner. So I really wanted to redo this, so if you will indulge me, then I'm going to go ahead and redo this. Plus, there are a lot of people who subbed to me since I did that video a long time ago. I maybe had 50 subscribers when I did that video. So this gives everybody an opportunity to see what I've done. So, Italian wedding soup is what we're going to have for supper tonight. And I'll just briefly go over the ingredients. We're going to put some baby spinach in there. I'm going to use 2 quarts of chicken stock. I've got 2 pints of my own, and then I've got a quart of organic chicken stock I picked up at the grocery store, simply because I'm being kind of stingy with my own, but I'm going to use some of my own, so it's what it is. And I have 2 pounds of ground organic chicken. This is white meat chicken, and I like that that it's organic and free range. We're going to use some Parmesan cheese, some breadcrumb, some acini di pepe. You don't have to use this. You can use orzo if you have it. You can use broken up spaghetti. You could use elbow macaroni. It doesn't even matter. It just doesn't matter.
Couscous?
You could, no, couscous is too starchy. We're also going to use, I have a medium onion that I have sliced and diced, and I have 3 cloves of garlic that I have minced finely. And for seasoning, I'm going to use a teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, and a tablespoon each of Italian seasoning and Mrs. Dash. And that is simply to my own taste. Over here on the stove, I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil heating up. And we're getting, I can probably throw that in there. I think it's probably hot enough. I'm going to put the onions in first. Yeah. There we go. And the garlic. And I have this over a medium heat. And we're just going to leave these to sweat for a little bit. We're going to put together our meatballs. And we've got 2 pounds of meat, so I think we're going to go ahead and use 2 eggs. That's a pretty good rule. 1 egg per pound. And then I think we'll use a cup of breadcrumb. So let's see here. You can use fresh breadcrumb. You can just go ahead and grind up some hamburger buns if you want. That's what I would do. But since I actually have dried breadcrumbs here, I'm going to add a little bit of water. And I'm going to add 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to add this garlic powder and this onion powder. And I'm going to mix this up, and I'm going to add, oh heck, I'm just going to add it all into the meatballs, so it's all good. All right. Get in there with your hands. You can put this in your mixer if you want to, but we're only making a little bit here, so put your hands in there. If you don't like putting your hands in raw meat, wear a glove. Keep one hand clean, and then you're going to have one hand in your mixture, and then you're going to keep the other hand clean. It's just like when you're breading stuff. You don't ever want to get both hands in there, because as soon as you do and you're by yourself, you know what happens? The phone rings. Or somebody comes to the door. All right. Now I'm going to rinse my hand off because it's very cold.
Raw chicken.
Huh?
And it's raw chicken.
Well, I'm going to have to get my hands back in there anyway, so. And I'm going to come over here And our onion and garlic is right where I want it. And now I'm going to add my my stock. This will cool down the pan a little. I'm going to have Rick come over here too. That'll cool down the pan a little. And some of my garlic got a little toasted, but that's all right. I caught it before it was too late. All right, and I'm going to open up my chicken stock. Get an opener. That's a good vacuum. Look at that. It smells good too. Alright. Now you're not going to want to reuse those jars, those jar lids for anything but a vacuum sealed. Like if you vacuum seal with dehydrated things in it on your food saver. That's the only reason you're going to want to do that. Otherwise you want to throw those lids away. I think I'm going to add a little parsley in here. Let me go grab it. This won't hurt anything. I'm also going to add 2 jars worth of water, which is 4 cups. Go. We're going to bring this to a simmer while we finish our meatballs. I'm going to get a little disher out, and I think that might actually be too large, so let me see. How about this one? You see how tiny that disher is? That's like a teaspoon. And that literally is how big you want these. You don't want them any bigger than that. So, you know what? I am gonna I hate this. Alright, get all this out of the way. So, this is a lot of meat, but you honestly, you don't want them much bigger than that. And you can just go in there with your hands. Because you're going to want to pick these up with the spoon, and it's like a little bite. It's like, these really are like little meat dumplings. And we like a lot of meatballs in our Italian wedding soup. And I know some people like them a little larger than this. You make them to suit your family. You don't have to do it my way. You can just watch if you want to. I love watching people cook. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to make what they're making. However, I like to try lots of new things because I think it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to go and I am going to fix these meatballs up, and I'm going to wait for my broth to come to a boil, a little simmer, and then when I come back we're going to toss the meatballs in together, and I'm going to show you what everything looks like, and then we're going to finish the soup. Our meatballs are all finished, and I brought everything over to the stove because we're getting ready to put our soup together. And I have the stock and the aromatics and the seasonings they're here and they're simmering. They're just at the cusp of a boil. Just at a cusp of a boil. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start dropping, our meatballs in. And I use my hands for everything. I just don't think that you can cook well unless you get your hands in the business. So if you don't enjoy that, and that's perfectly fine, you can do it your way. You can use a spoon. No, they're not breaded. The breadcrumbs are inside the meatball. And that's kind of what helps it stay together. Makes it nice and tender. instead of just a big glob of steamed meat. It has some substance to it. It's got the egg in there, and it's got the breadcrumb and the seasonings and the cheese, and it's going to be delicious. And then, of course, you know, you can just slip those right on in there and give them a good stir, but we give it a real gentle stir. And you're going to want to now, you can see that they're starting to turn opaque on the outside. That doesn't mean they're cooked all the way. But this is a nice soup. It's got, you know, I make mine with a bit more meatballs in it than some people might. I've also got a cup of my acina di pepe, and I'll show you what that looks like. They're like little balls of pasta.
A little smaller than a BB.
A little smaller than a BB, Rick says. So I'm going to put those in there all together, and now we're going to simmer. It's going to take 8 to 10 minutes for that pasta to cook and absorb some of that sauce, the broth, and then in that amount of time the meatballs will cook nicely, and at that point we will come back and we'll throw in our spinach, and then it'll be time to serve you a bowl of this delicious Italian wedding soup. So stay tuned. We're back and we're ready to put our spinach in. I just wanted you to see this is organic and it's washed and everything else. So this is just a 5-ounce box of fresh baby spinach, and just toss it right in there. And that is going to literally shrink down to way less than you think. But it is going to add such a wonderful addition. And wedding soup traditionally has spinach or kale or escarole in there. So it's really your choice. If you want to use a different green, that's all right.
Collards?
No, collards are too thick and you have to cook them forever, and I don't do collards because I may live in the South, but I haven't mastered that yet. That's something that I just haven't mastered. It probably doesn't help that I don't like them. I can't stand the way they taste. Which is odd, I know, because I love leafy greens, but collards are really an acquired taste. And here in North Carolina, I've been told, maybe I've just had them at the wrong time of year, or I've had the wrong type of collards, that I should eat cabbage collards instead, and I would probably most likely enjoy those a lot better. So that may be something that I need to explore. And our soup is soup. Remember? Is it soup yet?
Mm-hmm.
So it's soup.
It's done souping.
It is soup. All right. And you can see our pasta has cooked. Oh, this soup is so good. Dinner's gonna be good tonight, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can't get you just a little more pasta. It's almost impossible to come up without some meatballs. There you go. I'm gonna put this over here. Yeah, me, it's too hot for puppies. Now, you can have this. With a nice piece of baguette, and like so. It'd be nice. You can have it with bread, you can have it with crackers, you can have it with whatever. You don't have to have it with anything, because this soup is a meal. You can put some Parmesan cheese on it and it would be divine. So there you have it. Italian wedding soup in less than an hour, right from your kitchen. Delicious, wholesome, satisfying, and there'll be plenty of leftovers for you to take for lunch tomorrow. Just put them in a mason jar and off you go with a little bowl and a spoon, and you'll be good to go for lunch tomorrow. So I hope that this encourages you to try making this on your own. You can use beef with this. You don't have to use the chicken. I use chicken because I like chicken. You can use ground turkey. You can use whatever you like. and it'll be delicious. So, I hope you try this, and I hope you love it, and I hope that you will rate, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see. And until next time, I'll see ya.